Hello everybody, another Monday. I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas. That was yesterday. Today is the day after Christmas, so I'm going to do a Christmas review. Unfortunately, the movie I am reviewing has been reviewed on this channel before, but I kind of didn't realize that until just a minute ago. I totally forgot about it. Simon reviewed this movie 2 years ago, so not really a huge deal because it wasn't recently reviewed. So it's either review this movie, review some movie I saw ages ago, or don't post a video at all. And that's not my style. So today I'll be reviewing Home Alone 2, the sequel to Home Alone 1, of course. It's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. With the help of my Christmas tree and Santa Claus, once again, I will be doing this review. So here I have Home Alone 1. Now the premise of this movie is Kevin, played by Macaulay Culkin right here, is left at home after he gets in a fight with his parents, and they're going on a trip and they get up late. So then they end up leaving him behind because they just totally forget about him in the rush of all of it, because he slept in the attic. And then he ends up being home alone while his family is in Paris, and they have to try and get back to him. But while he's away, robbers that go by the Wet Bandits, there are two of them, they decide that they're going to rob the neighborhood and stuff. And he is home, and he has to try and protect his house. He has to defend it, as he says, against these bandits. So he sets up all these booby traps and stuff for them. So that's the premise of the first one. It's essentially the exact same thing in Home Alone 2. Very, very lazy writing on John Hughes' part for this movie, Home Alone 2. There are slight differences, but essentially it's the exact same movie. So what happens in this movie, it's 1 year later from Home Alone 1. However, I just want to point out, in this movie they say he's 8 years old. This movie is exactly one Christmas later, and now he's suddenly 10 years old. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I don't think children can become 2 years older in a matter of 1 year, because it is exactly 1 year later. So maybe if it was like a year and 1 month later or something, he could have been about to turn 9 and now he's 10, but no, it just doesn't work like that. So that was kind of bugging me. So anyways, it's exactly 1 year later. He gets in an argument again before his family's about to go on a trip, because his brother Buzz kind of messes with him at a choir concert, and he apologizes, being all fake, and then Macaulay Culkin, Kevin, gets all mad. He argues with his family again. He sleeps upstairs. When they get up in the morning, their alarm doesn't go off. They're late for their flight again, but this time they remember to bring Kevin, or Kevin remembers to wake himself up, and he goes with them. But we're seeing so many things that are the exact same as Home Alone 1. It gets to be somewhat annoying. So then they get to the airport, and Kevin has this device that he's using through the beginning of the movie, where he records voices and sound and stuff, and then he plays it back, whatever. And so while they're in the airport, rushing to get to their plane, which they're already late for, he's trying to put batteries in, and he's following his dad, and he keeps looking up, and his dad's wearing a long brown jacket. And then when he looks up again, his dad is gone, but there's a guy in front of him that's wearing the exact same jacket running, so he follows that guy, who gets on a plane to go to New York, and that's where he ends up, hence the title, Lost in New York. So Kevin ends up in New York while the rest of his family goes to Miami, Florida, which is kind of an odd predicament for a 10-year-old. So although he is lost in New York, he has his dad's credit card. At the beginning of the movie, it shows him watching TV, and he sees the Plaza Hotel on TV, so that's where he goes in New York. How this 10-year-old is managing to get around New York on his own is beyond me, despite his matureness in these two movies. So he gets a room there, and then these guys, the Wet Bandits, who were sent to jail at the beginning of the first movie, there's a newspaper that they show at the beginning of the movie showing that they got out of jail during a prison riot. So they are in New York as well, too, just coincidentally. So the bandits plan on robbing a toy store that Kevin goes to, and then they see him. So then they grab him, and they find out that he's there, and they want to get him because he is the reason that they went to jail. So then Kevin's uncle lives in New York, but he actually lives in Paris. He just has a townhouse or condo, whatever, in New York. So then the same thing happens with all the traps and stuff, and Kevin has to try and defend it. So it's basically all the same thing. If you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one, just it's in a different environment. And it's kind of annoying. John Hughes is a great writer. He's done a ton of good movies. Breakfast Club, Dennis the Menace, Home Alone. He did tons of good movies, and he was just really lazy on writing this movie. It's basically the exact same thing as the first movie, unfortunately. I know I told a lot of the plot there, but really, you're not missing much if you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one, like I just said. It's kind of frustrating just at the lack of new creativity. And then there's the third one and the fourth one that Macaulay Culkin isn't in, and they just aren't worth talking about or reviewing. The fact that it's on Blu-ray does increase things. I speak to so many people that say, why do they put old movies on Blu-ray? What's the point? Well, it's possible to increase the quality of audio and video it doesn't have to be shot with high definition cameras to increase picture quality and audio quality. They can remaster stuff. It's very simple stuff when it comes to just increasing those kind of things. So the quality is much better on this. Not like crazy high definition like you would see on brand new movies, but it is way better than normal quality. Like I watched this past weekend as well. I watched both these movies this past weekend. Always do every Christmas. Not this one as much because it's not as good. This one though every year. And then this was on TV last night, and huge difference in quality. So if you have a Blu-ray player and you like these movies, definitely get them on Blu-ray because they are worth it. These are both great Christmas movies, so watch them both. I know I basically talk about these movies every single Christmas. I did last year, Simon did the year before, and now I'm talking about them again this year. But they're great Christmas movies. Keep Christmas rolling because although it's over now, you should just keep rolling because it's great. Enjoy your time off of work, school, whatever you got going on. If you don't celebrate Christmas, just enjoy time off, whatever you got going on. I really hope to see more people on this channel. We'll see what happens. See you next Monday.